Firstly, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all, particularly our attendees and international guests who have journeyed from various corners of the globe to join us, as well as our national guests. And now what do? Why are we here? We are here because it is possible to build a better planet. We are present because there exist numerous futures that are competing simultaneously, and there are better and worse futures. And the existence of the best futures depends on us. But also when one looks at what is happening in the country, one sees almost a perfect storm. See wars, see conflicts, see inequalities, see people expelled from their territories, migrations, see drug trafficking pandemics that rise up, see human suffering, and sometimes it seems that technology rather becomes a threat that begins to erode and render obsolete everything we know, and a world emerges in a certain way, adrift. And the question then, what do? It has to do fundamentally with the future Congress that is in its 13th version that started in 2011. We have the conviction that a better future can be built, that there are better possible futures, and that this wonderful technology that humans have generated, perhaps the most powerful, which can even represent an evolutionary fracture, can serve for the betterment of humanity. AI is vital for our survival, yet the future Congress embodies its importance in shaping the future. In a polarized world, it represents the possibility of uniting the left and the right. Here they are together. In a world where the intellectual world separated from politics, leaving politics lacking vision for the future, here are public and private universities, here is the academy. In a world where it is difficult to dialogue with the private sector, as we have seen recently, here we can do it facing the country. Together in a world where civil society doesn't always have a voice, here it has a voice. And what is it about? It is about making the future Congress a space for meeting. Humanity needs a space for encounter. Humanity needs bridges, and the Congress of the future are bridges to prevent our humanity from drifting, so that there are ports of arrival, so that narratives exist. Future senses are being lost, narratives are being lost, and we are convinced that narratives can be built, that common shared visions can be built, that put the relevant back in the center, and that allow each person, because there is a relevant center, because there is a country project, to be available to set aside their legitimate interests in function of a larger project. That's the future Congress, a free space, a space of solidarity where altruism prevails. None of these speakers who come has never charged a peso. They travel the world showing that even in this individualized world, there are spaces of solidarity, of generosity, which is what humanity needs. To prioritize common goods over private goods. However, now we are faced with very specific challenges, so what should we do? For instance, this incredible technology, AI, generative intelligence, which saves humanity, without it we cannot live as well, generates enormous existential risks. How to leverage positive aspects and mitigate existential risks? We must collaborate to establish ethical criteria and navigate challenges together. There is nothing more hazardous than an AI, a technology that evolves rapidly without a moral vision or ethical framework. And there, the decision we have to make is what we want to preserve from humans today. How much of the human do we want to outsource to machines? We have already outsourced memory, geolocation capability. Will we also outsource our creative, intellectual, emotional faculties? I believe these are decisions that humanity has to make today, and it is also a political issue. We want a world, a future technology that is proprietary, that is very little hand. Is it not time to reclaim that technology as a common good for all of humanity? And we also need to reclaim fundamental aspects of our civilization, such as education. Platforms are capturing children's brains. 7 hours on average, there is no conversation. In 140 characters, there is no conversation. Conversation is democracy. There is no empathy. They don't look into each other's eyes. No empathy, no conversation, difficult world. No reading, no deep thinking. We're vulnerable to manipulation. No critical thinking. Kids in their first 7 years need to hear voices, human interactions. They're not hearing parents, and they themselves are on screens, but we also face a political conflict. Social networks are the future's public space, the public square, and we must reclaim it as they amplify false, violent, aggressive content, and above all, fear, in order to capture the data that fuels the future, because fear is the most powerful captor of attention. Fear is an evolutionary mechanism to prevent thinking, so that if a predator attacks, you don't hesitate and can defend yourself quickly. We are structured in a society of fear, because those who do not instill fear on their screen do not capture. It does not capture attention and what has happened, and that is why we have to regulate that space. We have to establish that there must be regulations, because the media that used to certify the truthfulness today do not do it, and social networks win, or falsehood. Fear displaces true content and peaceful content. The President is correct. Positive news and peaceful content are not profitable because they fail to attract attention and prevent the exchange of information. And that generates unfair competition that can make traditional media vanish, which play a vital role in ensuring democracy. Therefore, regulate the screens. Classrooms should be without screens so that our children can concentrate their attention on the teachers who are in front of them. Regular ethical aspects, regular political aspects are part of the challenge of this future Congress, because we have hope in the future. We believe it is possible to use technology to build better possible futures. It is not a paradox, or it would be a paradox, that at the moment of greatest evolution of our humanity, we are facing existential risks, when at the same time we can have the best possible future. We are here to together build the best possible futures. Thank you very much.